It's a question that you all have answered in your own very different ways. Mr. Ghana, I'm coming again, and this will be the last time that I'm coming to you today. We've had a very serious situation that has within government. We had the Speaker of the House was live with me, I think last Wednesday, and we had a conversation that had to do with understanding legislative processes. I don't want us to rehash all of that because we've discussed it elaborately, but I would like us to look into the transition. You are one of those who worked on the Constitution and even its transition into the orders in council, the amendments that were brought into the Constitution. You're one of those who worked during ASSC. Um, you're one of those who read the text in government and advise based on some law and things. So I'm coming to you now, Barrister Ghana. Um, we have orders in council that has replaced the interim constitution. I'm sure you have an idea of the implication or the meaning of that. What would you advise Amazonians that, or I'll call it a minority group of members, a very minority fraction of such, I will call it, should I call fraction? I will say certain individuals, a very few individuals, not even up to 10 of them within government, that are trying to create an uproar and create havoc within government in this regard. What would you advise the people of Ambazonia listening to you today with these changes that have taken place and the progressive steps that we're making?
Uh, uh, Thanks for that question. There's a German proverb that says, first there must be order. First there must be order. And when you come to legality or the formation of constitutions or rules governing societies, what we as human beings have to realize is that rules exist for a reason. And when you have rules, you also usually constituent bodies also formulate the process through which or whereby you can address those rules. And if you want to make changes to those rules, you have to follow those procedures or lay down procedural methods here. So we have the constitution, and the last constitution I think was amended. I don't know if it was 2001, I think, and I played a key role in that amendment. I led the constitutional council that during the ASSC conference that took place in Washington D.C. In front of the entire Amazonian Constituent Assembly, we're able to propose or lay down the proposals and get the Constituent Assembly to vote to be able to change those the constitution or the interim constitution. And what I would advise the Amazonian people is uh, uh, the process to change a constitution is even more important than what you're trying to change. You know, you have to follow the process. And if the constitution states that only the constituent assembly can make constitutional changes, then that is what is supposed to be. And if you want to change the constitution, then organize another constituent assembly and let the people come, assemble, and be able to make the changes that are necessary. And when you start taking shortcuts, when you start promulgating changes that violate the process, that violate the rules, then you're guiding us into a jungle which every other person is going to be in peril because of that jungle me- mentality. So what I say as a lawyer, what I say as somebody who led the constitutional changes in the last ASC assembly we had in Washington D.C. is that follow the process. And absent of following the process, any changes made are null and void because they are unconstitutional. So I'll leave it there.
Vice Pro, please.
Paddy, you may want to know that the three of us, the three lawyers in this struggle, we were in Washington, D.C. And when the resolutions came out, we drafted the bills that were in conformity with the resolutions. That is the process. And it was adopted by that Constituent Assembly, and it was forwarded to the House. And the House has received it, debated it, and carried out a vote. And the vote passed. And the House approved all those amendments and sent them back to the president. And you saw me, I was the one as the Attorney General of this government. I was present. I presented the text to the president to promulgate. You saw it, and it was done publicly. No challenge, nothing. Some of the people have been mounted, I don't know by whom. Can you imagine that this whole controversy has been started by a man con man who is a medical doctor, who is also in the House of Assembly?
I'll rather
and he should have, listen now, let me finish. I'm not calling anybody's name. I'm not calling anybody's name.
To them. Go ahead.
Listen to me.
Yeah.
He brought this controversy. He raised hell with his wife. And look at where we are. And that's why I don't like to talk about it, because it's already law. The processes were correct. They were strictly followed. The three lawyers made sure that the processes were respected, and it was voted by the House and was promulgated into law by the president. Finito. If anybody wants to change a provision of the Constitution, it should wait for another Constituent Assembly and introduce his motion there. And then the process will start all over. But for now, that is the Constitution. And I'm telling our people that they should not think that something went wrong. Nothing went wrong. And that they should believe in the government of the Southern Cameroons and Bazonia, and that no part of the Constitution has been tampered with by anybody whatsoever.
No part has been violated. The process
has been violated by anybody whatsoever. And I don't like the fact that they try to blackmail the president and the speaker, and that is where it hurts.
Yes.
That's where it hurts.
Do you know something?
That's where it hurts. I'm very emotional. I'm very emotional about it, because everybody worked so hard to follow the process, and people have been mounted up by La Republic of Cameroon to bring another fight into the ambassador government so that they can have their way. It will not work. Thank you.
I want us to stick on the intellectual aspect of it, so that we don't indict this.
I have given you the intellectual aspect.
Just a moment, Barrister.
My emotions, I've given you the intellectual aspect. Take it as I've given it.
Barrister Fru, please. I'm saying so because when we get a little bit too emotional in the way we communicate it,
I have given the intellectual part of it before. I don't know what you mean by emotional. I don't know what you mean by emotional. People have been mounted up. These people have been mounted to destroy the government.
When we get a little bit too emotional, sometimes we don't analyze the context.
That's an insult. That's an insult. I'm not emotional. I am telling you what has happened.
Barrister Fru, let me finish at least one sentence. What I'm saying here is we give a lot of credence to these individuals. And one of the ways we defeated these same individuals with ABC was when we sidelined them and ignored them. and then went ahead and did the things we're doing. So I'm saying that the best way for us to go about it is to come, like you heard Barrister Ghana saying there, educate the people on what is necessary, and don't give somebody who is bringing a foolish debate the credence on a platform like this to talk about an individual. Because I've read everything they are saying and I've told them at the background, it is so foolish because it makes somebody who want to go to the school where you got your doctorate and tell the school to retrieve it. Because whatever they're saying is as dull as it sounds. You have read them. So I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that we don't need to give them any credence on this platform.
I've given
Now,
nobody credence. I have instead buried him.
Dr. Lobati, I want to come to you. I know that you are very professional in the way you go about it, but you must have been
Yes, I am not professional. Correct. I am not professional.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about the way he functions with his wife. They don't mix their things. The wife is the speaker of the house, and I'm sure you would have been briefed of a lot of things. You would have also followed a lot of the discussion that is ongoing, many different discussions that is ongoing, and you have an opinion on this issue. You know the debate in details from the level of your county with the forums or the forums. You know what everything that is happening with regards to the different sides of the story, those who have come to challenge whatever changes have been made and question the procedures, and that they have been brought. We have even shown them that we filmed it, and some now have changed it after we've done that. They have changed their argument. What do you have to say to those in government and those out of government and the world that's listening to us? That will probably be in conclusion of tonight's program. Please talk to us.
Well, they say that if you want to kill a dog, give it a bad name, and everybody will say yes, kill it because it's bad. If you want to kill a dog or a cat, say that it has rabies. Everybody is afraid of rabies. It's a deadly disease. If the dog bites you or the cat, you will die of rabies. So just say it has rabies, and then everybody will say yes, kill it. But medically, as a physician, after you kill it, the proof that the cat or the dog has rabies is you remove the brain, send it to a lab, and they examine it to find out whether there's rabies in it or not. And eventually, when they come back and say that there's no rabies, you say, well, I just wanted to kill it. So I lied. That's basically what's going on here. These are individuals that don't like certain individuals, and so they go back and concoct something to try and get rid of those individuals. But as far as this is my personal opinion. I think that they have already failed. It's not going to work. The government will remain intact and will proceed, and Amazonia will be actualized, and we are going to be fine. It's just another test on the road. It's just another contraction. When a woman is pregnant, before you have the baby, you keep having contractions. And, it's just another contraction. Eventually, the baby will be born. So I pray for them. When we pray for them that they will come to their senses. If La Republique is using them, La Republique has failed all the time. They have bought everybody you can think of. You can keep mentioning them name by name. But they will get tired of trying to buy people and they will never succeed. And that's just my take on it. It's their efforts have already failed. They have been exposed, and I pray for them that they will be restored. I feel from their utterances in audio messages that they hurt emotionally, that they are sick. I'm speaking here as a physician. You can tell that they are emotionally sick. They need somebody to listen to them psychoanalytically, as well as minister to them as a minister, like a priest, like a pastor, for them to be healthy again internally. Those people are hurt, and I pray that they will be restored. But as far as their efforts are concerned, it's futile and it's not going to go anywhere.